Hello, my name is Jonathan Solon, and welcome to the Soul Train. Today we profile the life of Lavinia Foust, my great great grandmother. As of 1903, she could boast 9 children, 49 grandchildren, and 24 great grandchildren. Who knows what that number is today? Let's go! Okay, so where are we and who are we talking about again? Okay, so we're talking about Lavinia Elizabeth Young Foust. Let's take a look at the family tree and remind ourselves where she is. Um, Her husband is Jacob Foust, and one of their 9 children is Marjorie Foust, who would be the mother of my grandfather Harold Solon. Lavinia was born in Ohio in 1838. Her parents were Samuel Young and Elizabeth Easterday. Now, I've done a fair amount of research and just am not able to find much about this couple. I will finish up with a couple of facts about them, but I don't have long stories about Lavinia's parents. Now, what we do know is that Lavinia was born in 1838 in Ohio. Her parents had likely migrated with many other families out west as settlers. And then they traveled on to Indiana. Land, as you know, opened up in eastern Indiana for sale for cheap. And her family, along with the Fausts, had traveled there to purchase acres of land. What I just learned is that she and Jacob, which I knew were sweethearts, and they married in 1853. What I didn't know until just now is that Jacob was about 21 years old and Lavinia would have been 15 years old. Now, not that uncommon to marry at 15 during this period. But as a reminder, it would be her own daughter, Marjorie, who also married at 15 to Louis Solon, and they tragically would lose their first children. Um, and I don't know, and have honestly have not been able to research Lavinia enough to know if she happened to lose any children. Um, but in either case, her presence as a mother to her daughter who lost 2 children and also married at a young age would have been very important and part of what helped build such a strong family. Jacob and Lavinia and their 9 children. Such a story, such a huge family. Okay, so Jacob and Lavinia would marry in 1853. They would be in Indiana until 1869 when they would move to southeastern Kansas. Now, I did a little research to see what drew them there. Um, Lead was not discovered in Galena until 1877. But what was going on is nearby in Baxter Springs, just 11 miles from Galena. Baxter Springs was a burgeoning frontier town, and it was the first cow town in Texas. So they would move to that area with their family, and from that point on, um, Jacob and Lavinia's family would grow and grow and grow. So their family did grow. I'd like to share with you a rather interesting article from 1904. Now, who was the president of the United States in 1904? It was Theodore Roosevelt. And he actually used the term racial suicide to describe the lowering birth rate of white Americans. So this article here actually rebuts that and cites the huge Faust family and their many descendants as a rejection of the notion of racial suicide. Jacob and Lavinia did love to have big family reunions. And so take a look at this beautiful article submitted to the paper by one of the guests describing the beautiful and wonderful happy time of the Jacob and Lavinia Foust family reunion. Now, I am a bit confused because there appears to have been a huge family reunion in Baxter Springs in 1904. And yet, this photo here, my favorite of the whole bunch, was also taken about 1904. Now, Baxter Springs is 11 miles away from Galena. This photo here was taken at the home of Lou Solon, my great grandfather, about 1904. So I'm not sure if there are overlapping family reunions, if this happened frequently, which I think maybe it did. Um, but again, an amazing photo. And Lavinia Foust, the focus of this episode, is on the far left. Jacob Foust is the far left, and Lavinia, Mrs. Jacob Foust, is number 3 on that list. I wish I had better pictures of Lavinia. I don't. The best one I have is a close-up from this family photo, which I believe would have been taken after that larger family photo, just a smaller, more nuclear family. But here are 2 photos of Lavinia. I'll also like to share some articles. One that she is getting ill and bedridden. And here are 2 different obituaries for Lavinia Foust. So, Lavinia Foust, what a woman. For me, the most important note is she was married at 15, and then she would guide her own daughter, also married at 15, through the loss of her first 2 children, Lavinia's 2 grandchildren. And if you read to the bottom of that last obituary, you would have seen that her memorial service would be performed at the same time as her grandson Thomas, who would have died also that morning. So hasty is life. Until next time on the Soul Train, hop on board.
Away down yonder in the state of Arkansas, where my great-grandpa met my great-grandma. They drink apple cider and they get on a jag, and they dance all night to the salty dog rag. They play an old fiddle like you never heard before. They play the only tune that they ever did know. It's a ragtime ditty and the rhythm don't drag. Now here's the way you dance to the salty dog rag.